And with the Astros holding that players-only meeting, we knew we had to bring in our baseball analyst, former Major League scout Jeremy Booth, alongside Daniel Gotera and Matt Musil.
Hey.
Jeremy, I brought out the panic button. It's in the middle of the desk. Is anyone going to use it right now when it comes to these Astros?
I've used it a couple of times. I don't know that today is the day I'm going to do it again. It's getting closer, though. You know, I'm kind of inching towards it. But
Creeping
today,
towards it, yeah.
Not just yet. I think there's still plenty of time. It's tight. It is tight. It's a little tighter than I thought it would be after acquiring Justin Verlander, but not yet.
I think that the players' meeting today, maybe that wasn't the panic button push, but Maldi definitely was reaching for that thing. He wanted to say a few words to his teammates. Hopefully that wakes them up because, you know, all season long, Dusty and the guys we've had injuries, we've had this, we've had that, and we've overcome it. We're still there. Well, they're still in that spot, but they're still in second place, and Seattle's on their heels. Something has to be done, and I don't think John Singleton is going to break them out of this. I mean, he had that one game, but you can't count on that. I mean, everybody has to play better, plain and simple. Got to hit better, got to pitch better.
Well, they got to pitch better, especially this last series. I mean, Seattle's playing great baseball. Let's give them credit. They were a good team. They started off slow. They're getting hot at the right time, but they got to pitch better. And that was the strength of the Astros last year. Their pitching staff, especially in the bullpen. After Framber threw a no-hitter, it has not gone well. And I don't know what's wrong. Something's off. Mechanics. I don't know. And like Jeremy, you were talking about before we started here, it seems to be a pitching staff issue right now.
Yeah, John Singleton notwithstanding, depending who you ask, it's a situation that if one guy's down, maybe it's the player. If there's two guys down, maybe it's overuse. And we know Dusty has what's called a proclivity to use the same guys again and again and again. Mm-hmm. That said, from talking to the scouts that have been in the ballpark, from watching with our own eyes, even looking at numbers simple as velocity, everybody's down. And if everybody's down, and I'm certainly not going to point fingers because I don't have the answer as to what it is, but something's off that they're not getting to the root of. And they have to figure that out. They have any chance to get to October, let alone be successful in it.
Well, the amazing thing is, who would have thought at the start of the season, let's see, who's going to be your most consistent starter?
Yeah.
J.P. France. Who? What are you talking about?
Yeah. What, for the Space
Frenchman?
Cowboys?
What
Yeah.
are you talking about? J.P. France, he's been the most consistent starter. Well, if you start with that, then these guys haven't played up to their potential, and that's the big thing. Pitching, pitching, pitching.
And I've learned that there is a John Singleton fan club on Twitter.
Apparently,
You did learn that.
I did learn that.
Yes.
I did learn that.
Nothing against him. That's a great story.
No,
but
it's an amazing story, but
that's not the problem.
that is the story, though. The story is that it's an amazing story. Got back to the big leagues.
And we're still pulling for him. Everybody
100%.
pulls for Big John.
100%.
I do think that what's happened with Framber is really concerning because when you look at how he pitched last season and how he pitched in the playoffs, and he really seemed to be turning that corner as a true ace. And to see what he's done the past month, granted, there was that no-hitter in there, but that is really concerning because that is what the Astros have been hanging their hat on. It's starting pitching last year when they won the World Series.
Yeah, and the one thing about the Astros, that's why I'm not hitting the panic button per se, is because of all the experience that they have. So when you get in these type of situations, a team meeting, it is alarming because these guys have been through it before, but I would say that they know what to expect coming down the stretch, and that is a huge asset.
So which team should the Astros be most worried about? Is it the Rangers or these Mariners who, of course, just swept Houston? Jeremy, I know that you haven't always been, I don't want to say not high on these Rangers, but I think you felt at some point they might come back down to earth. Should Astros fans be more concerned about Seattle?
Well, it's a two-part answer to that. The first thing the Astros need to worry about is everybody. Like there isn't one team with where they stand and the teams that are behind them that is separated themselves from the group, right? Everybody, it's all about playing hot baseball. It's all about getting all those ducks in a row, if you will, for the postseason. So it doesn't matter if it's or the Mariners or the Rangers or, and this isn't a team, but the Mets, right? I mean, it doesn't matter who that is. With the Rangers, I thought they'd fade in August. I said that from the beginning. I thought they were going to be much better. We have a little text, that we had at one point. Much better. But then they went and got Max Scherzer. And then they went and got some other people who just didn't come back to earth, if you will. And sometimes culture can do that. So the Rangers are very much in it. They haven't separated themselves either, though. They're 2.5 up right now. They haven't separated themselves either. So there's still plenty of time, as we sit here on August 20th, to fade. There's still some time to fade. These division races can go any number of ways, especially with this many people in the mix. And the third wild card, you can find yourself winning the division or being completely out in a matter of days. So I don't know if there's any one club they have to worry about.
I know a lot of Astros fans are pointing to, well, we have the Rangers yet in that series up in Arlington. We can make up this ground. Well, they thought they were going to blow away Seattle with a sweep this weekend, so you can't count on that.
A lot of overconfidence, Matt.
Yeah. Well, you know,
we do seem to see that from time to time
we
on
have
Twitter,
been
don't we?
spoiled here in Houston, but the thing, the reason I say the hitters also, it's timely hitting. You know, you can hit for a good average, but if you can't hit with men on base and when it's a big time in a ball game, then you're not an effective hitter. So we've got to get some timely hits, and I know that's one of the big things that really bugs Dusty Baker.
Well, a confident team is a dangerous team, and Seattle has always had a problem with the Astros, and they got a taste last year of what it could have been if Jordan had not hit that home run in the 9th inning. I think that could have been a Mariners series win because picking up that victory, but they swept them here. It's regular season. I don't want to mess with that team. They've got some good young pitching. They got some talented hitters. I think that's a team that the Astros should look out for.
You know, it's funny you talked about that particular play. Jordan Alvarez hitting the home run for Robbie Ray. Was that right? In the postseason. At the draft, which I was at in Seattle, which is a good time to get back to Seattle and see that. The clip they played when the Astros pick was up in Seattle was Jordan Alvarez taking Robbie Ray deep. Now, something called read the room, right? I mean, maybe not that clip, any number of Astros successful moments, but we picked that one. All right. Not just, how about motivated? Not just motivated, right?
Yeah.
Confident and motivated. And every team in the league is gunning for Houston. It's just the way it works. It doesn't matter if it's Wednesday or 2019 or 2030. They're gunning for the Astros. So,
especially the team that has gotten their butt kicked by them so many times.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Seattle, they trade away Paul Sewald. Seattle had...
Isn't that strange?
You know, it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah.
So I think the consensus is this: no need for the panic button for now. All right,
for now.
For now.